3, 2, 1.
Did you know that there is a strategy in playing bingo? I was looking it up this week. I'm not sure why bingo came to my mind, but I was looking up bingo and was wondering, when people play bingo, is there some sort of strategy to it? And I realized as I was reading about it that just like in manifesting, there is a strategy involved. And we'll get to those strategies in a few minutes because I want to let you know about them. But first, I want to talk about the similarities in playing the games of bingo and playing the game of life, and the differences too, of course. Now, many consider both life and bingo a battle. The battle of bingo, the battle of life. They get into such an idea that it's this, yes, it's a competition, of course, especially bingo. I don't know if life needs to be a competition, except for maybe a competition with yourself to have a better and a best experience, even if that experience is very similar to the one yesterday, but to have a better version of it. But so many people think that life is a battle, and they're always fighting, and they're always struggling, and they're always toiling. But neither of them are. Neither of them are a battle, unless, of course, you decide they are, but in reality, they're not. They're just games that we can play successfully, that have maybe a few rules and tools here and there, but that everyone can play successfully. Now, as far as bingo goes, with knowledge of the rules and a few tips here and there, you can be very successful at it. And as far as life goes, with your knowledge of spiritual law and ancient wisdom and new thought, all the things we talk about here, and the tips and the ideas and the practices of giving and receiving and sowing and reaping and keeping heart, mind, and gut diligent in the ideas of havingness, you can be successful at it as well. In fact, you already are. You have been successful. You're successful even if somehow you manifest not so great things in your life, because all your thoughts and feelings add up to a belief, and that belief system informs the law of attraction, informs the law of cause and effect, informs the universe what to bring forth into your life experience. Now, in bingo, there's no real way to influence the outcome of the order in which those bingo numbers are drawn, or the balls are drawn out of the little cage that they roll around in. But in manifesting, there are, and we've talked about this all year, there are tools, there are influences that we have. There is the imagination and feelings that we project. There's that power that is within us all the time. That's there for us in manifesting. In fact, Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "The game of life is the game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy." She wrote that in her book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. Now, in bingo, there actually is two methods to help you upgrade your success. One's called the Granville method. And the Granville method is one of the most common options for bingo players. And if you're a bingo player and don't know about the Granville method, pay attention. Many stock market analysts have used this to forecast price movements as well. And it's all about checking your bingo cards. So when you get there and you get your cards, you want to take a look at them. So when you select them, you want to make sure that the card has an equal ratio of high and low numbers. okay? An equal ratio of high and low numbers. And also an equal ratio of even and odd numbers. And finally, an equal ratio of numbers ending in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So even if there's 50 or 10 or 20, a number ending in 0, that might be fine, but you want to make sure that the numbers ending in another number, 1, 2, 3 through 9, are an equal ratio. So that's their method, the Danville method for bingo. Now, when you check your consciousness card, excuse me for a moment, and you're getting yourself into a having state of mind, an equal ratio isn't optimal. And I'll tell you why. Because you want to make sure your self-talk, what's going on in your head, what you say to yourself all the time that nobody hears, you want to make sure that has more high-minded thoughts than low-minded thoughts, higher frequency thoughts of busting through and soaring, of vibrating at the speed of the divine, of knowing that the divine power is within you and you are in happiness to be available to the infinite opportunities and possibilities there are in the universe. That is a high frequency thought. High frequency thoughts are of love and peace and grace and being grounded and centered. This raises your happiness and success level is also lifted. Now, in the game of life, you want to make sure you're more often centered and grounded than not. Thus, your openness to intuition-infused answers and optimal questions are upgraded. You know, you want to have optimal questions when you are questioning what's going on. When you're ready to bust through, soar, and zoom, a lot of times, most of the time, there are questions that you are asking yourself to get to that point of busting through. So you want those questions to be as optimal, and you want the ratio to be high there. Also, we want to make sure the ratio of quality spiritual practice and the rest of your daily walking around and going to work and all that stuff, eating, that ratio of quality spiritual practice or breath work or rest and relaxation is higher than the work, toil, and long hours of the rest of the day. Now, the ratio doesn't have to be higher in time. You don't have to be, I did 8 hours of work, now I got to do 8 hours of spiritual practice. No, it's the quality of that time that is important. Quality, not quantity. The next method, there's only two that we're going to talk about today, but is called the Tippett's method. Now, Tippett was a British statistician, and he devised a system to increase the odds of winning in bingo. Who knew? Let's see if it applies to manifesting, though, your best life. So Tippett assumed that a longer 75-ball bingo game goes on, the more probable it is that the bingo balls drawn will near the medium number of 38. So there's 75 balls in that cage running around, usually of some size, depending on the cage. And so if it's a longer game in that nobody reaches bingo, more of the numbers will be closer to 38 than not. Now, unfortunately, you don't know that when you're picking your cards, but it is something to realize as you're looking at all your cards, what might happen. Now, alternatively, the shorter games would have numbers closer to the outliers of 1 and 75. So 1 through 10 maybe, and 60 through 75 would be more of the numbers picked up, is how statistics seem to run for the bingo world. Now, in the game of life, we don't want to live by statistics. We want to live on purpose. We want to live at choice. Because the perfect pattern in the game of life is the divine design of who we are. And each person has their own divine design. Each person is, because we are at choice and we individualize this power, this presence, the divine, God, whatever you want to call that energy, the Big Bang, because we individualize that, because our divine design is ours personally, then when we play the patient long game, then we know that there is a place. There's a time and place for everything we have desired. As Francis Scovel also said in this book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, there is a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill it. Something you are to do which no one else can do. So we don't play by statistics. We play by the game of what we have decided. We play the long game. The long game does not necessarily mean years to manifest something. But I have realized that playing the short game, the quick fix, the rush, the idea and the feeling and the energy of rushing into something makes the game of life not really work for us in the long run, because it brings the mistaken short satisfaction from the outside, that outside satisfaction. And yes, sometimes satisfaction from outside events are nice and are worthy of our time and our attention, but it's the inward. And sometimes we have the mistaken idea of something is too good to be true. Have you ever had that? When you've decided, well, I want to have this in my life, and then some voice somewhere and from the past or some junk idea says, well, no, that's too good to be true. When we play either the short fix or that lack of limitation stuff, whatever the words equate to that idea, we don't have satisfaction. Even if something shows up, it doesn't stick around because we're not in it for the long term. We're not in it for the long game. Many people are in ignorance of their true destinies, their true identities. And I'm saying ignorance by they don't understand through knowledge, through even logic, and then even deeper through the heart and through the consciousness of them, who they are, what they are. And they're striving for things and situations by the idea of statistics. But the idea is that they're striving. And that only brings ultimately failure and dissatisfaction, even if what you are wanting is attained. So if we first seek outside satisfaction, the inner and true satisfaction will mostly come, like in bingo, in the short games, in outlying times. The beginning of your life, nearing the end of your life. A lot of people who live life from outside validation and experiences to create their satisfaction in life, they come to the point, and they may have a very wealthy life, financially especially, but they don't realize till usually middle of their life or later in their life what's most important. And most important comes from the inside. Our true destiny, or destination, you might say, is birthed from the infinite intelligence that is within. And we want to allow ourselves to have satisfaction from within. Take the knowledge and the intuition from within, not out there. That doesn't mean you don't talk to people, you don't get mentors and all that kind of stuff. It's the idea that life is good because I feel it in here, not because I feel it like here, or because of a piece of paper that says I'm this, that, or the other. The object of the game of bingo is to be the first to get all the numbers until you fill the entire card, right? That's what bingo's about. They do the numbers and you check off the numbers that you have. But the object of the game of life is to see clearly one's good and to just obliterate all the mental pictures of negativity. And some of that stuff's just learned, that we learned, that parents taught us or whatever, or that we think we see out in the world or from the news, buying into the news too much. The object of the game of life is to see clearly one's good and to obliterate all the mental pictures of negativity by filling our subconscious mind with a realization of good, that there is good in the universe. There may not be good in your community at this particular moment or in your country at this particular moment, but there is good in the universe, and that is more powerful. And when we fill our beliefs with constructive ideas, we ultimately fill our life card, so to speak, like a bingo card, with winning experiences, with the winning numbers. Now, either method in bingo that I talked about has its merits, just like the various modalities that we use our mind to manifest has their merits. It all comes down to choosing to being in having mode. Are you in having mode? Am I in having mode? We got to answer that question for ourselves. To have the havingness, to have what you've decided to have. That's what the having mode is. To have the havingness, to have what you've decided to have. Now, most people assume that bingo is a game of pure luck, which it isn't. Because even though you may not choose which number is called, you do choose the cards you will use, and there is, like I've described, some ideas of how best to use the cards, some methods to choose your cards. Well, neither is the game of life pure luck. There's no such thing really as luck, pure luck, unless you allow it to be, unless you want to believe in luck. But then if you believe in luck, you probably don't believe in the power that you truly have in manifesting what you've decided to manifest in your life. And you just live life allowing the statistics to rule it. Now, for many people, playing bingo and developing a winning strategy, serious business. You ever been to a bingo parlor? Oh, there's some serious business going on there, but it's also fun. You don't want to forget the fun in bingo. When you go have bingo, you want to get into the camaraderie, the community, the laughter, the excitement of even someone else winning. But just like life, like bingo, life is both serious and fun. It's serious fun, as I say very often. And it also includes connection and camaraderie and community and laughter and love, and peace and grace. Okay, so I talked about tips in the beginning. Here's some tips on how to win at bingo other than talking about those two methods. And let's compare them in being in having mode, our theme this month. And let's see how this compares, how bingo tips compare to life tips. So number one, we're only going to do a few. Get to the bingo hall early. Or in the game of life, get to your spiritual practice early. So in bingo, preparation is the key. You want to arrive at least 30 minutes before the start of the game so that you'll have plenty of time to buy your cards and connect with friends and maybe enjoy a nice little beverage and set up your station. So you don't want to be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. A rush confuses your mind, clouds your judgment, lessens your fun. And this is serious fun, serious fun. Now, in life, preparation is the key as well. You want to declare what you shall have next in your life. You want to decide what that is. You want to take some time to go, well, this is great, but I'd really love to bust through Sora and Zoom of this idea in my career, in my health, or whatever, that is actually nice now, but I want it to be even nicer. So you declare that. You got to take some time to figure that out, to know that, and to accept that you're going to have that and expect that its existence is in your life right now. So then you'll have plenty of time to experience the best of your life and connect with friends and enjoy a beverage and set up your next journey or adventure. So in that tip, there are the same preparation. Number 2, don't skimp on the cards in bingo. The more bingo cards you hold, the better your odds of winning. If a number shouted out isn't on one card, of course, it most certainly is probably on a subsequent one. So don't skimp on the cards. The more bingo cards you have to choose from, the better chances of making a pattern, a successful pattern of winning. And it's fun to look around and go, oh, there, no, yeah, that one has it. In life, the more constructive and divine and succulent and beautiful and enlightening and wise ideas that you pour into your mental card or on your mental table, the more fabulous experiences you will have. It's that simple, really. It's that simple. What ideas are you pouring into your mind and thus into your life? Get more constructive, positive, optimal, succulent, wise ideas. And if they don't come up in your head, for whatever reason, go read a book. Go pick up on the affirmative incantation of the week or one of them that is in my book and work that and experience that and live that. Number 3, choose from a variety of bingo cards, and as well in life, choose from a variety of practices. Now in bingo, you will have higher chances of winning if you choose cards that are distinct from each other. Even if you are doing those 2 methods that we talked about earlier, you want to make sure that they're not too much alike. However, they say don't spend too much time staring at cards. Become adept at swiftly sifting through them and picking out the most interesting ones based on one of those methods that I talked about before. Now, in spiritual practice, you want to use a variety of modalities and practices. And that's great. You don't have to do just spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer all the time. Do some meditation, do some grounding, do some earthing. You know what earthing is? It's taking your shoes off. May not be a good time right now in most places, in this country at least, since it's winter. But get your feet on the grass. Ground yourself, earth yourself. Enjoy the energy of this planet. There is a great, loving energy in this planet. And allow this wisdom to flow in. Do a vision board, do journaling. There's all kinds of modalities, and doing a variety of those will bring up wise choices that others may not bring up for you. Just like everything else, it's all individualized to you. I can do workshops for you about journaling. I could do workshops with you about affirmations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's what's going to bring your wisdom alive is the modality, the spiritual practice that is best for you. And it may be several at a time. Now, we want to dig deep, though. Whichever modality we want to do, or several, we want to dig deep and boldly experience that modality or practice. Don't just do it like, the old days at church or temple, where you just say the words and you don't even listen to yourself saying it. And these spiritual practices, they don't take a long time. Whether you say it, whether you write it, whether you meditate on it, whether you envision it, you want to be appreciative of it. You want to live it. But even doing that doesn't take time. It takes a quality of time. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 20 minutes of meditation. It could be less. But it's the quality of that time. It's the allowing yourself to be totally focused on that. Which brings me to number 4, pay attention. In bingo, paying attention to the MC during the entire bingo game is crucial for winning, right? You don't want to be chatting away and they say a number and you didn't pay attention and all of a sudden you're behind in numbers. Because in bingo, if you get behind, somebody else may say bingo before you do, and you had a winning card. Distractions, such as a phone and talking to the guy next to you too much, could make you lose track of important numbers and potentially the game, right? Okay, but in life, you want to pay attention to your self-talk and what it is that's showing up and what is showing up in your life. Your self-talk, like I said before, is stuff you say to yourself in your head. You say a lot of stuff to yourself in your head. Is it good stuff? Is it positive stuff? Is it constructive stuff? That's the most important word. Is it constructive stuff? Is it stuff that is true about you? That the power and presence of the divine, the Big Bang energy is within you right here, right now, and you individualize that energy in your own way, giving you the power through the law of cause and effect or attraction or whatever you want to call it, to bring forth into your life that which you have decided to experience. And also, are you looking at what is showing up in your life? Because when you look at it, then you can really see where your belief system is. And take action to bust through, soar, and zoom from it. It's crucial not to be distracted, especially in your spiritual practice and your self-talk, by fear, by the ideas of lack and limitation that somehow you've bought into, by past traumas. Work on them, look at them, tell them they're no longer a part of your life. If you need to get spiritual counseling or psychotherapy about it, have at it. Or any of those learned junk ideas that I talked about before that you might have gotten from your parents or the news or some other religious organization that tells you things about yourself that are lies. They're lies. It's crucial to not be distracted by that stuff. I know you are now and again. I am now and again. It's how long you allow that distraction to get in your way. In bingo, you might miss a number. In life, you might miss an opportunity. But the most important thing to remember when it comes to how to win a bingo game, I should say, is for the player to have fun. You got to have fun and be in a good mood while playing. Loving to play the game can increase your chances of winning. It really can. You're opening yourself up when you're having fun to greater possibilities, greater successes. And so too with life, my friends, so too with life. So the next time you do a treatment or an affirmative prayer, or you sit and contemplate in meditation, or declare in your decision making, or feeling the power of your imagination and feeling in a rockin' confluence, or envisioning what it is your next journey is going to be, or maybe you're letting the affirmative incantation that week really kick in from your focus, joy, and dedication. When any of those or any version of that starts happening in your life, celebrate it. Yell bingo, if anything else. Acknowledge all your numbers have lined up. Celebrate your awareness, your awakening, your recognition, your acknowledgement, and your appreciation. Greet your gratitude with a joyous song. Greet your gratitude with a joyous song and collect the inevitable goodness that is going to show up from your conscious thought becoming your most fabulous experience. Because it's going to happen. When you play the game of life, similar to you play the game of bingo, with focus, joy, attention, declaration, variety, concentration, and fun. Having serious fun, you will see showing up in your life not only ideas that bust through Soar and Zoom, but ideas that you get to experience joyously, fabulously. You are fabulous, my friend. Thank you so much. Namaste.